lights. We are taking on water and require immediate assistance. There are 4 people on board. U.S. Coast Guard, Kodiak, Alaska. ETA to scene 15 minutes. 15 minutes. All stations keep a sharp lookout for signs of distress.
We're right outside Dutch Harbor, and we've just got a nasty weather report with some storm force winds heading our way. The safest thing to do is to turn around and head back into port. The autopilot is set. All you need to do is run the throttle and control the speed. Why don't you take the wheel and see what you got?
Push the left stick up until the throttle handle is all the way up. This will get the boat to full speed. You can look around the boat by using the right stick. You can center the view again at any time by pressing on the right stick button. Keep the
One of us is gonna get sick, and it ain't me.
Got some battle scars now.
On the scene, we've located the vessel. There are no signs of life on board. The life raft is missing. All stations keep a sharp lookout for survivors.
Good job. You made it back safely. Just in time, too. Those swells are getting bigger by the minute. There's nothing else to do but hope that the Coast Guard will find the crew of the Arctic Lights in time.
Well, it looks like the weather came down real nice today. And we need to get over to the other side at the dock and pick up Matt. He's been shopping for groceries and all our supplies. Why don't you take the boat and run her over there? I'll sit back and watch. Just don't crash my boat.
You can see a list of all the game controls at any time by pressing the Start button to access the game menu and then selecting the Help option. You can look around the cabin with the right stick. There's a group of sea lions on the shore to your right. Turn the camera to look at them now. Good. You can center the view at any time by pressing the right stick button. Press it now to center the view again. Matt is waiting for you at the dock. You'll have to navigate through the entrance of the bay to go pick him up. The radar shows you points of interest around your boat. The glowing dot on the edge of your radar shows the location of the dock where Matt is waiting. Your boat is always pointing up on the radar. The display rotates to show you where you are heading. You can use the compass directions around the display to help get your bearing. The left and right buttons on the D-pad let you zoom the radar display in and out. Press the left D-pad button several times until your destination is visible inside the display. Push the left stick up until the throttle handle is all the way up to make the boat move forward. Keep the throttle up to reach the entrance of the bay. Don't forget to use the camera controls or the reset view button to see where you're going.
You know, that's the Coast Guard Melon out there. He's a 400-foot cutter. Right now, we're on a collision course with him. You do need to stop and let him pass. These are the rules of the road you got to follow.
Bring the throttle back to its center position to stop the engines. You can move the left stick left and right to turn the rudder and steer the boat. Try moving the rudder in any direction. The rudder angle display shows the current angle of your boat's rudder. Push the rudder to the right for a few seconds until your rudder shows an angle of about 20 degrees.
Hey, that looks like the shellfish. It seems he's going into the bay as well, and by that puff of smoke I just saw coming out of the boat, he wants to race us in there. Why don't you hammer down, see if we can't beat him in?
What? You guys want to race? You're gonna need a faster boat than that to beat us.
Go full throttle to beat the shellfish to the entrance of the bay. Now would be a good time to center the boat's rudder again. Pressing the left stick button automatically centers the rudder for you. Press the left stick button now to center the rudder. Steer your boat into the bay before the shellfish. Well done. You beat the shellfish to the entrance of the bay.
Way to go. Looks like we beat them in there. The shellfish is always bragging about how fast they are. It turns out Northwestern has all the speed you need.
You can move the directional pad up and down to zoom the camera in and out of the boat. You can look around your boat using the right stick. A bow thruster is a device that shoots water from the sides of the bow. It can be a very useful tool when docking or maneuvering in tight spaces, since it allows the boat to turn without having to use the throttle. Press the left bumper to move the bow thruster to the left and rotate your boat towards the dock. Good. You can go ahead and dock the boat now. Use the throttle and rudder to make your way to the dock and come to a full stop inside the glowing box. Slow down as you get close. You need to come to a full stop inside the box to dock the boat.
You guys sure took your sweet time. I've been waiting here forever.
You know, I think we've been screwing around the harbor long enough. Why don't we get out to sea and go set some strings and start fishing? Let's see how you do.
Head past the harbor buoy into the open sea. The plotter is where you plan your fishing strategy for the season. Press the X button to activate it.
The plotter is one of the greatest tools on a crab boat. It can give you an overall picture of where your pots are laid out and all your strings. It'll tell you where you're at compared to all of your gear and how far these pots are spaced out. Plus, it gives you different depths on the bottom as well. Plotter is really important to a crab fisherman.
You can zoom in and out on the map by pressing the up and down buttons on the D-pad. You can look around the map with the right stick. The display tabs control what kind of information is visible on the map at any time. Hold the left trigger down to activate the display tabs. Navigate to the survey checkbox. Do not let go of navigate to the survey checkbox using the D-pad and press A to display the Department of Fish and Game survey.
Every summer, the Alaska Department of Fish and Game conducts a survey on how many crab are actually out there for us to fish. It's a good idea to look at the survey to get an idea where to start. Just remember, the crab do tend to move around.
Now that we have an idea of where the crabs are located, let's go ahead and plan where we'll drop our pots. A line of pots is called a string. Using the left stick, move the cursor anywhere on the map and press the A button to start creating a string. Good. Now move the cursor to where you would like your string to end, and press the A button again to create the string. Good. Now that you know how to create strings, let's go and place one where we'll be fishing. There seems to be good crab in this location. Make a string between the two glowing points indicated on the plotter. Now that you know where you'll be dropping your gear, you need to get in position so you can start fishing. Using the left stick, bring the cursor to the location indicated on the map and press the left bumper. This will set a waypoint for your ship's autopilot system. Now that a waypoint has been set, press the Y button to activate Fast Time Mode. This will accelerate the flow of time and make your ship travel quickly towards the autopilot waypoint. Good. You now know how to plan strings in the plotter and travel quickly between locations. Press the B button to exit the plotter. At any given time, the crew can be in any of 4 modes: rest, set pots, retrieve pots, and chip ice. The crew is currently in rest mode. Press the Y button to switch the active mode to the set pots mode. As soon as the crew is in set pots mode, they will start working to get a pot ready to launch. Navigate your boat close to the drop position. The drop position is only an indication of where you planned your lines in the plotter. You can choose to drop your pot anywhere you want. Get close to the first drop position and wait for the crew to be ready to drop the pot. The crew is ready to drop the pot. Press the A button to ring the buzzer and give them the launch order. Congratulations! You've just set your first pot. That was right on the spot. Now go to the next drop location to set the second pot. The drop positions appear in white on your radar. The pots you have already dropped show up in red. Drop the next pot at the second location. Remember to ring the buzzer to instruct the crew to drop the pot when they're ready.
This is the USCG Mellon. We have located the life raft. Diver is in the water. This is the USCG Mellon. All 4 crew members are inside the life raft. They are dehydrated but appear to be otherwise okay.
Thank God. One more crew beat the Bering Sea.
Well, it sounds like everything went okay with that rescue operation. It just makes you start to wonder, you know, if it's ever going to happen to you the next go around. And it does keep a guy on edge, and it does weigh in the back of your mind at times. But for right now, we're here to fish, and that's what we want to do.
Press and hold the right trigger down to access the boat's extra controls menu. Using the left stick, select the deck cam option and press the A button to activate it. The deck cam gives you a clear view of your crew, allowing you to check if they are ready to drop the pot. Press up or down on the D-pad to return to cabin view. Good. Go set the last pot to complete your string. Great. You have completed your first string. The red bar next to each fisherman's picture represents the current energy level of the crew member. The yellow bar is his morale. The longer your crew members work without resting, the more tired they get. Tired crew members are more prone to injuries or to causing accidents, so it is important to let your crew rest when you have a chance. Press the Y button to put the crew back in rest mode. This will give... Now that your string is set, you need to let it soak for a while. Open the plotter again to access the fast time mode. If no waypoint is set for your boat, activating the fast time mode will simply make time go by really fast without moving your ship. We'll give this string a 24-hour soak time. Press Y to activate fast time and let time go by until 24 hours have elapsed. The clock shows the current date and time. Stay in fast time until the pots have soaked long enough.
U.S. Coast Guard Kodiak, Alaska communication station. A distress beacon has been detected by satellite. Efforts to contact the vessel by radio have failed. To all boats in the area, keep a sharp lookout for signs of distress. Assist if possible. This is U.S. Coast Guard Kodiak, Alaska communication station. Out.
You know, there's a boat nearby our area that's in need of assistance right now. I say we get over there and help this guy out.
The search icon on the plotter indicates the rough area of the missing boat. Set a waypoint at the location of the glowing dot on the map. Activate fast time again to travel to the search and rescue area. Good. You're now in position to start searching for the missing boat. Exit the plotter and keep your eyes peeled for any signs of the boat. Now keep an eye out for that boat in distress. Remember that it's easier to spot things around you if you zoom the camera out.
Captain, someone just fired a flare off to the east. We should go and check it out.
Locate the missing boat by following the flare signals. ship is not responding on the radio. Get close enough to it to be able to communicate with the crew.
Hey there. It's really nice to see you guys. We've had a massive power surge. All our electronic is fried and we're dead in the water. Can you contact the Coast Guard for us?
Well, if I knew it was those guys out here, I'd have let them drift around just a little bit longer. But I think we need to get a hold of the Coast Guard and see if we can't help them out.
Press and hold the right trigger down to access the boat's extra controls menu. Using the left stick, select the radio option and press the A button to activate. The radio menu displays all the entities that can be currently contacted. Press the A button to access the Coast Guard messages. Using the D-pad, select the "We Found Them" line, then press the A button to send the message.
Roger that, Northwestern. You are the only other vessel in the area. Can you tow them back to harbor? Over.
Press the B button to close the radio menu. It looks like this fishing trip is being cut short. Still, it's nice to know you were able to assist another ship. That string will have to wait.
You know, we're still in town after helping Captain Larry out yesterday. We might as well take advantage of this situation and load some more pots on the boat so we can take them out with us fishing as well.
You can edit the payload of your boat under the Fuel and Pots tab. Using the up and down buttons on the D-pad, navigate to the Pots editing bar. Then use the left and right D-pad buttons to change the desired number of pots on your boat. Set the total number of pots on your boat to 150. Keep increasing the number of pots until you get to 150. Increase the amount of fuel on board until you have at least 41,000 gallons on board. You don't have to press the button repeatedly to change your payload. You can keep holding the button down until you...
Stability is a big part of crab fishing. It's all about the center of gravity on your boat. And too many pots or too much fuel changes the center of gravity or stability on your vessel. Remember, the last thing you want to do is leave the dock with too much fuel or too many pots. Keep your boat safe.
Whenever the POTS number turns red, it means that your boat is overloaded. The Coast Guard will not let you leave dock with a boat that does not comply to loading regulations. Press the right stick button while on the fuel editing bar to bring your fuel load back to about 14,000 gallons. A typical crab boat will burn about 1,000 gallons of fuel per day running at full throttle, so that is plenty enough fuel to complete a trip.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for the tow last night. I really owe you guys.
Fill the boat all the way up with bait, and you'll be ready to head out. The wait time field displays the amount of time needed to make all the required changes to your payload. Press the X button to load the additional pots and bait.
You've got to help me. I've got a girl in my bunk and my girlfriend just showed up. Can you keep her busy in the wheelhouse for a few minutes? Oh, she's going to kill me.
Press X again to resume loading your boat. Good. The boat's ready to go. Press the B button to leave the dock. Now you need to plot a course to your gear. Activate the plotter to go set a waypoint. Set a waypoint near the start of your string. Activate fast time to start traveling. You are now in position to start retrieving gear. Before leaving the plotter, set another waypoint at the other end of your string. This will allow you to use the boat's autopilot and make your task easier. Good. Close the plotter to proceed. Press the Y button to set the crew mode to retrieve POTS mode. In this mode, your crew will automatically attempt to retrieve the gear as soon as you get close enough to it. Don't go too fast, or they might miss the throw. Press the B button to engage the boat's autopilot mode. The autopilot does not control the boat's throttle, only the rudder. This allows you to control the speed of travel while the autopilot keeps the boat on the proper course. Keep in mind that you must always have a waypoint set in the plotter in order to use the autopilot. Navigate to the first pot location. Remember that you have to approach the buoys on the starboard, right side of the boat for your crew to retrieve the pots. Make sure to slow down when getting close to the buoys. Your crew member could miss the throw if you go too fast. Retrieve the first pot. Remember to approach the pot from the right side.
Great job. That pot is stuffed. She's up to the tunnels. I hope they're all going to end up like that. It looks like you picked the right spot, though.
Every time you retrieve a pot, the crew will give you a count of the number of adult male crabs in it, or keepers. Select the Set Back option and press A to rebait the pot and drop it back in the same location. Good job. Move on to the next pot.
Hey, Nick, something's burning.
Stop playing with that thing near me. I don't like flames.
You can talk with your crew at any time. Press and hold the left trigger to bring up the crew conversation menu. You do not let go of the left trigger until you have initiated a conversation with Edgar. Press using the D-pad. Select the reply of your choice and press A to trigger it.
Sure.
Good. Don't forget that everything you do or say can have an impact on the morale of your crew members. Move on to the next pod. Remember to slow down when you get close to the pod. If you come too fast on the buoys, your crew could miss the throw, and you'd be forced to circle around to try again. That's the second pod. Only one left to complete the string. If the crab count in your pot was low, you would want to choose the stack option instead of setting back. Stacking means placing the pot back on deck so you can drop it in a better location at a future time. Now, go get the last pot. Great, you've retrieved the last pot. Now that you have retrieved the entire string, you need to go back to harbor to sell your catch. Open the plotter to set a course back to harbor. While we are in the plotter, let's take a look at the information the plotter provides to help you refine your fishing strategy. Hold down the left trigger and use the D-pad and A button to activate the crab display. The crab tab gives you an indication of the amount of crab that was in your pots at the locations you have fished. Really full pots show up in red, while empty pots remain blue. You can bring the cursor over a crab circle to get a detailed account of the information at that location. All right, it's time to go back to harbor and sell your catch. Bring the cursor over any harbor icon to reveal information about that harbor. The top line of the Harbor Information menu shows how many boats are currently in line to offload at the processor. Avoiding long waiting lines can be critical to the success of your season. The longer you wait to offload, the more of your crab will die in the tank. As you can see, there's a fairly long wait line in Dutch Harbor, whereas Akutan only has one boat currently unloading. Set a waypoint on Akutan, then activate Fast Time to go there. Good. You are done in the plotter. Press the B button to close it. Make your way to your docking location. Come to a stop inside the dock area to go to harbor mode. Press the A button to open the dock. Press the right bumper to access the Cell Catch tab. You can see your current place in line at the top of the Cell menu. The green bar underneath the boat in front of you shows how far along it is in its unloading process. Press X to wait in line and sell your catch.
Nice job. Way to go. You brought the boat back in one piece with no damages. The crew is safe, and you caught a lot of crab. You still got a lot to learn, though, but you definitely got what it takes.
Congratulations. You've sold your first batch of crab. There's still plenty to learn, but you now know enough to go out there and become skipper of your own boat. Career mode is now available to you. You can go choose your own boat, hire a crew, and get started on the long path to become a seasoned Bering Sea crab fishing captain.
Crabbing is an Olympic-style fishery. In other words, depending on how many participants and boats there are, there's only one quota for them to go out and catch. They're fighting for that quota. And depending on how much time you have to do it in, it's all up to you. Catch as much as you can in the time that you have to bring in the most crab that you can fish. When you're in port to hire a crew, you want to remember that there's only so much percentage to go around. The crew gets paid on a percentage of the catch and the money that's made when you come in and unload. You can't have all full share crew members because you won't have enough percentage to go around. You're going to need greenhorns or guys with less experience as well to make the deck work. So you're going to have to find that balance between full shared experienced guys and greenhorns with lesser experience, and see if you can't make that work and go fishing.
I'm in.
I'll see you at the boat. Aye, aye, Captain.
Yeah, let's go make some money.
Yeah, I'll give it a try and we'll see what happens.
Hey, bro.
Just because you hit that buzzer doesn't mean that the guys are ready. And a lot of times, they'll launch that pot when they hear that sound immediately. They do it by instinct. The guys are so used to hearing that sound and pulling that lever, it's almost better off for you to check and make sure that everything's ready to go down there. When you throw your boat into reverse and use a high RPM, a lot of time the stern is going to want to pull to the port. That's called propeller walk. It's being sucked over there by the motion of the propeller in a reverse direction.
Give me whatever he's on.
We shouldn't be doing this. We're gonna get in trouble with the Coast Guard. Whoa, slow down there. You're gonna get someone killed.
It's tempting to test fish or prospect before the start of a season. You might want to try to do this because you'll get an advantage over the rest of the captains when you're out there in the beginning. You'll know where to go and where the crab are. The consequence of doing something like that is that authorities will confiscate your load of crab and they will give you large fines. It's really not worth it. I don't recommend test fishing or prospecting to anyone.
Slow down there. You're gonna get... Whoa, slow... Whoa, slow down.
Back her down a notch, Sir Turbo.
Whoa, slow... Whoa, slow down there. You're gonna... Whoa, Whoa.
Back her down a notch, Sir Turbo.
Do I have to come up there?
I'm just getting confused. What is the There's a pace to this. Don't rush us.
Whoa, slow down there. You're gonna get...
There's a pace to this. Don't rush. There's a pace to this. Don't... There's a pace to this.
What the hell do you think you're doing up there?
There's a pace to this.
Back her down a notch, Sir Turbo.
There's a pace to this.
got 4 or 5 guys that are already deprived of sleep. Ultimately, they're going to need some sleep, so 4 hours might be beneficial to you and your crew. But you can get by for now on 30 minutes. Choice is yours.
Good snooze.
Yeah.
Our season begins with a shotgun start. In other words, you want to be out there where you're going to fish, you want to have your guys ready, you want that first pot baited and ready to go when the gun goes off.
The season is now officially open.
After you haul your first pot, you're going to need to decide whether to stack it or set it back and rebait it. Depending on how much crab is in there, you might want to just try that area one more time. That's up to you. Remember, if there's nothing in them, get them on board and get them moved. Hey, you're being a throttle jockey. In other words, you're too hard on the throttle. When you notice the guy's missing on the hook all the time, that's because you're using too much speed. Here's a tip: slow down a little bit. Try to get a speed that works for you and your crew so you're not jamming gear down their throat. When you feel the boat shaking the way you just did, that's called cavitation. And that's when you're being too hard on the throttle when you're going into reverse. You're basically sucking air into your prop and it's vibrating through the boat. And it can be really hard on your drive train, and it's also hard on your rudder. When you throw in reverse like that, ease it into it and gradually feather the throttle till she grabs and then back up.
I need more practice, because I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Part of fishing is being patient. After you've set your first strings, just remember the longer they sit in the water, the more crab you're going to catch, assuming that you hit anything at all. A trick is to spot check your pots, or you can pull them on a short soak, 4 to 6 hours for example. If you see that there's life in the area and something's actually crawling in, leave your pots alone. My advice is to let them cook. Let those pots soak for as long as you can. 2 days is usually the best time to pull them on, because then you've maximized the time in the water and you've maximized your bait, giving you the most crab you can get out of that area in one soak period.
I need to get off the boat for a bit. Okay, you're the skipper.